I've never been too much for what I call casual conversation or cocktail party conversation. I just don't feel comfortable. It seems like there is enough time in this world to use it well by talking about things that matter. My friend Bill and I used to write that in large letters, in capital letters, saying we're going to have things that matter conversation. And I think it's hard, we meet people casually and nobody wants to go to the deep stuff right away. But I have discovered recently that there are some times that you can learn a thing or two about what a person is really like just on a quick and casual kind of basis. Last week, I was at the stoplight at the intersection of Knollwood Drive and Thruway Shopping Center. And a man was standing there holding one of the signs, ubiquitous men and women across this city, wanting help, needing help. And his sign had just 3 lines. The first line said, homeless. And the second line said, please help. And the third line, surprisingly, said, Selah. That's S-E-L-A-H. Now, Selah is not a word I've seen on such a sign before, and yet it's a word that I know. I've never read it or heard about it anywhere other than in the Psalms. It is used in the Psalms kind of like a punctuation mark to remind the reader, for there were often readers who were reading aloud to people, and they're reminding the reader to pause, to stop a minute, to rest there, take a rest there, and let the meaning of the words that he or she has just spoken to be absorbed a little bit. Selah, S-E-L-A-H. And here on this side, there was Selah. Well, I have to tell you, it caught my attention. But the light was about to turn green, and I couldn't reach for my pocketbook quickly enough to get some money out. I wanted to give him a little bit of money. And so I drove around the block and stopped in a parking lot and got my money out of my pocketbook and drove back by him. And as I pulled up, I lowered my passenger side window and reached my hand out with the money in it, and as he reached for it, I said, Selah, is that your name? Now, I had no idea that it would be his name, but I thought I would ask anyway, and he just kind of grinned, and he said, no, it's the Psalms. And I admitted to him that I'd kind of suspected that I thought it was a very clever thing for him to do, to put that on his sign as an invitation for people to stop, linger a little bit, and maybe spend a little time talking with him and finding out a little bit about his story. It just seems so clever, so creative to me. And I think about all those other people all over Winston-Salem, all over the United States, all over the world, who are making their own signs to find people to help them out of a situation that they had no intention of being in. And I just wonder if each person could think of something about themselves to call attention to themselves, to make themselves memorable and notable, rather than just the usual words, homeless or out of work, need help, all of which are so poignant. But I like having Selah, stop a minute and talk with me. And so I did. And I was very glad to have learned a thing or two about how individuals can make themselves known even without a whole lot of casual conversation. I hope you have a good day. Thank you.